And we're back from break. Welcome back. So, we have put a plank across a pit. Everyone is reunited. And then Zed has tried to cast a light spell on Estrelli's violin and instead cast magic missiles in his hands. And they exploded in his hands, and they both, were a little bit injured by that. But...
And pretty much the entire tower could have heard an old man yelling, "Confound it!"
But as you step into this room, it is much better lit by the light of your staff, Zed, and you can see more of the debris. Most of it has it's kind of more on the outer edges of the room rather than towards the middle. And then you can also see two staircases to either side. And on the left side, it's a spiral staircase going up, and on the right side, it is a spiral staircase going down. And then there's also the well in the center of the room.
Well, we know for a fact that the top of the tower is only about 5 stories up, and that it has an end. We do not know how far down this tower will extend.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, I vote that we go up first.
That seems reasonable to me.
I don't know. Wizards like towers, but they don't like basements. But these are flesh golems, which makes them seem somewhat like necromancers. So they probably like underground catacombs like crazy.
I think your view of magic and wizards in general is highly offensive and wrong.
New bond.
Very well.
No.
Down it is.
So what are you all doing?
I start to
working
walk towards the
upward
upstairs.
staircase.
Okay, so
While they're
begrudgingly
arguing, I
follow.
just already start walking.
so Z followed by Olivia are walking towards the staircase. Estrella and Zed, what are you doing?
We stop arguing and follow.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm the light source. I still have not yet successfully cast light on anyone else, so
That
they
is a
can't
good
really
point.
get far without me.
He also
wanna pull
wanted
the
to go
torch.
up, and I wanted to go down, so I just got outnumbered 3-1.
So you climb the staircase, and at the top of the staircase, you think you've gone about a floor up, and there's a hallway. And to either side of the hallway, and you can kind of see this revealed, but maybe I'll reveal a little bit more so you can see it. It looks like there are like there's archways, and those archways lead further like into side rooms, it looks like, and then on the other end of the hall is another spiral staircase going up.
I warned Z about the possibility that there could be stone golems ahead. As
Right.
was mentioned last session.
Right, yes.
You can walk in front of me.
Yeah, I think Australia is our melee combat specialist in this in this little band of persons. So.
Well, I mean, Australia actually I don't, so I'm certainly going to be at least second, not third.
Violin at the ready, I start playing the Rising of the Black Cabal in D minor, and stride forward.
Are you trying to weave a spell into your song?
Sure.
Okay. Then if you would like to use your arcane art, go ahead and roll plus charisma.
Keep in mind, I do already have the bonus damage from that time you accidentally.
Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna like just playing the song and not weave an arcane art.
Okay.
That could go wrong again.
It could go wrong again, like it went wrong last time. Though it was really cool because the whole tower just reverberated and hummed in tune to your song.
Most likely,
So
he
it
accidentally damage buffed every monster in the tower.
Yeah, but it sounded awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, fair
The
enough.
fact that we're all going to die it pales in comparison to the fact that he just had like a one-man orchestra.
But like, it's really too bad that Z wasn't there, because then she could have seen that I'm clearly the superior musician. Oh well.
So you're standing at the top
Anyway,
of this
onward.
staircase. What do you do?
Oh, I'm walking forward and I'm on the playing my song and on the guard for stone golems in the corners.
Are you going to check out any of these rooms, or are you heading straight to the staircase?
Oh, I thought you said they were just alcoves.
No, they're those are doorways, like archways leading into rooms. They're cast in shadow, so you can't really see them too well. You would need either Zed's light or him to cast light on something else, or maybe Olivia has a torch or lantern in her adventuring gear.
Unfortunately not. I'm used to being in the starlight, so I don't own any torch.
Okay.
Well,
My pack of adventuring gear.
you have to consider there's also the second floor. There's a possibility there may be windows in some of these rooms. So I stop playing my song and I attempt to open this door.
Well, they're open, so you can just they're archways, so you can just walk right in.
I attempt to peek around the corner and see if I can see anything.
The room is cast in shadow. It doesn't look like there
There
are any windows, or if there are windows, they're either boarded up or covered in like heavy cloth. So the only light that's coming is from Zed.
I
Okay.
also wish to mention, peer manageable as I cowardly peer around the corner.
Flustered after my previous attempt, I try once again to cast light on Estrelli's violin.
I cautiously hold the violin, ready to pull it back at a moment's notice.
All right, go ahead and roll plus intelligence. Mark XP.
Well, you're getting XP, so
Something
So-
just does not want me to cast light on your violin, or something wants your violin destroyed. One of the two.
You go to cast the spell, and you realize you don't remember how to cast it anymore. You forget the spell until you prepare it again.
That's fair.
yeah, that seems like a very reasonable.
Well,
After a couple of attempts, you're like, wait, what am I doing wrong?
I'm gonna have to look into this. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I don't want to try to cast it again until I figure it out. So.
Well, at least take your staff and help us check these rooms.
Do you take your staff and help them check the rooms, Zed?
Yes.
And you're going into this first northern doorway?
Yes.
Okay. As the light from Zed's staff spills into the room, you can see that it looks like a study broken and rifled through. And you see two creatures made of stone, frozen in place. They look almost like gargoyles. They have large wings and monstrous contorted faces. And they're about the size of a person, like a muscular human. And they're both facing you. Like this, they're facing this doorway area here.
As I peek, wait, how will you say that?
Masculinely.
Yeah, as I masculinely peek into the room, I quickly glance around and try to see if there's anything that looks like a hammer.
It sounds like you're trying to discern realities. So would you roll plus wisdom for me? Okay, that is a success. It's a partial success. So you can ask me... Where is it? Let's scroll up here. Whoop. One of these questions.
Okay, what here is not what it appears to be, I guess.
Okay.
And let me just say, those gargoyles appear to be ready to jump to life and tear my face off at any moment.
Well, you're right in that the gargoyle statues are definitely not statues. They are living creatures well, I use the word living a little liberally. They are constructs, and they are protective creatures that if you enter this room, you know that they will spring to attack.
I would
But
say I closed the doorway, but I think you mentioned there is no doorway.
it's an archway, yes.
I closed the archway.
There's nothing to close. What do you all
Flash
do?
of an eye. A flash of an eye. He runs down the stairs, grabs the table, brings it up, and boards up the door. Well, I mean, I've obviously pointed out, I would assume, upon seeing the stone creatures, that they were stone golems. But Dox is the one who gathered the information that they only move, or they would only attack if we entered.
Yeah, he can tell that they're not ready to attack, but they are he can tell that he is being watched by them. So he knows.
I'm just going to mention to the group, we probably shouldn't go in there unless we want to fight giant stone creatures.
That seems reasonable.
But we do
All
want to
right.
go in there,
Why?
because if there are guards, then there's probably something that they are guarding.
That's not a bad point.
And after all, Estrella did convince us all to come here because of treasure.
Yeah, I thought it
that
was
right
zombies,
there is
but you know. Okay.
Possibly magical. Now, I don't have any spell. I don't think I'll ever get any spell of this nature, but do you think it would be possible for me to attempt to control the creatures using magic? Since they are magical constructs, they were pulled from you via magical means.
Let me look
Could
at.
I overwrite that?
Let me look at the spells that mages get. Because I
Now,
know.
Zed... Sorry.
I was gonna say I know you get something called Charm Person. I would say that you might be able to gain control over them through a ritual.
Alright, that was going to be my other suggestion.
Can
So,
I frankly ask them a simple question of, whom do you serve?
good creatures.
Constructs. Don't want to be a racist.
So you are being charming and open?
Yes.
Okay.
To stone creatures.
Constructs. Enough
Rather-
with the racism.
Rather unorthodox approach.
One of them turns to you. Its eyes seem to glow with like an inner fire as it is stirred to life. And its stone mouth kind of creaks open. And you hear this raspy voice just kind of almost breathe out of it. And it sounds very unnatural, like you might expect a creature made of nothing but stone to speak. And it says, "The wizards of old guard a great treasure. What do you desire here?" And they're asking you, what do you most desire?
Oh, I'm glad they asked me and not my compatriots. I tell them knowledge.
If knowledge is what you seek, the top or the bottom of the tower is your destination.
Ah, thank you.
And then the eyes go dim.
Okay, I turn to Zed at this point and tell him, you do look wizardly enough. Maybe you might want to try convincing them that you were one of the wizards of old.
Well, depending on your definition, I am one of the wizards of old. My character is 500 years old. I mean, really.
I'll leave that up to him.
Right. Well, I mean, I was going to attempt a ritual in
Okay.
order to.
Then let me look at the wizard list. Okay. If you want to take control of these creatures,
Well, I was thinking more along the lines of convince them that I belong here, and that this tower is mine. Like, it would be more of something to affect myself to any of the constructs in this tower, that I was its
Rightful
master.
owner.
Yeah.
okay.
Right.
It's kind of like
Given from-
magical hacking.
Given from what you've seen of this tower, you know that to convince it that you are its rightful owner, you will need to make a blood sacrifice. And you and your allies will risk danger that the tower will consume you.
So I would have to try to convince it that I am extremely dark or evil.
Yes.
Alright then, perhaps that is not the way I want to go, but it makes me feel a lot better about destroying the constructs within. Alright. With the knowledge that this tower is evil and unwholesome, I will... Alright, what kind of a ritual could I possibly do just to convince those two gargoyles to fight alongside me? Now a ritual to alter them instead of me.
You will still require to make a blood sacrifice and use the magic of the blood to ensorcel them. And the blood would have to be of... Like, you couldn't go down and scoop up the remains of those flesh golems. It would have to be freshly spilled blood. And the creature would have to be innocent.
Innocent. Alright.
Hello?
We are receiving a phone call.
Hi, you're live on Twitch.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go AFK real quick to answer that.
Okay.
So my character doesn't do anything else as far as that goes.
So while this is going on, Z, is there anything that you would like to do?
How far does the light reach?
The light fills the room because they are standing probably right here, just inside the archway, but technically not inside the room. It also spills out through this hallway here. And then it spills a little bit into this room. Like, let me reveal a little bit more. So, like, you can probably see this much. So you can see, like, just the edge of the shelf of what looks like might have been some kind of storeroom.
Okay, I am going to start to walk towards that room.
Okay. So you enter the room. It's very dark inside except for the kind of back half of it, which I've illuminated here on the map. As you walk in, your eyes do slightly adjust to the dark. After a few moments, you can see that kind of this way against this wall here.
I just fucked everything up.
Everything okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
I accidentally unplugged my other monitor. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Can you still see
Everything got condensed to one monitor and it was freaking out.
Okay. Is everything okay now?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can see here against like this wall here from the inside of the room, it looks like there's some kind of coat rack. It's a little hard to make out, but you can see like the shapes of dark cloth against a dark wall just kind of hanging there. Looks like there might be two cloaks there. And then also you have this shelf that is full of, a lot of it is broken or rotten, but it's possible that there is some sort of tool or potion there that has not been spoiled due to the passage of time. Did you want to investigate either of those things?
I want to poke the coat rack with my bow.
Okay, you poke the coat rack with your bow.
Nothing happened.
No, nothing happens. I mean,
Okay.
you poke it. It feels like fabric catches on the end of your bow. You jiggle it around a little bit. Nothing leaps out and attacks you, or like there's nothing hiding in the coats. It's just fabric hanging from the wall.
I am back, by the way, so
Welcome
if
back.
you guys needed me to follow you around, which I should have already been doing.
Well, Z has split off from the group while you've been discussing what to do with these gargoyles, and she has gone down into this southern entrance here, and she's just kind of poking around. So far, it doesn't appear that there's any danger in there. She's just kind of investigating, and she's still within eyesight of you.
I'm gonna take
I
one
mean-
step in and then quickly jump back out to look around.
Okay. Are you trying to discern realities in the room?
Sure.
Okay, then why don't you go ahead and pull up your character sheet and roll plus wisdom.
Okay, and that would be a what kind of die?
If you just click it, it'll roll for you.
Oh,
Okay. Let me look at your sheet. You can go ahead and mark experience. When I say mark XP, you can go to where it says XP at the top and increase that by 1. So you go from 0 XP to 1 XP.
Failing is fun.
Failing helps you level up, so it's good. So, as you are kind of poking around in there, you're not being as careful as you think you're being. And as you're digging through the shelves, you feel something prick your finger. And you look down and your hand is kind of covered by this this liquid that you didn't notice was there before. Can you please defy danger with your constitution? So that would be roll plus your constitution. Okay. So, let me look real quick. That is a partial success. So, how do I want to handle that? You can recognize that as poison, and you either have the choice to just let this poison run its course, or you can use your short sword and try to cut open the wound and bleed it out, and you will take a small amount of damage, but you will not be poisoned. Which would you prefer?
while screaming expletives, I'm just gonna not ram, but take the sword and do what needs to be done.
Alright, then I need you to roll your damage die and take that much damage. So you take 5 damage as you are panicking, trying to cut this out of you so that you won't get the poison deeper into your system. You're intact, but your hand really hurts. Your fingers are throbbing. But you think that you're not going to suffer any ill effects of whatever it was that you touched.
I'm just still swearing
Okay.
profusely at this point.
If Zed hears her swearing and carrying on, he'll probably go over to her location, specifically with, torch held high.
Okay, then I will go ahead and reveal the rest of this room. And I will go ahead and hide the rest of this room.
I, in a masculine fashion, peer around the corner.
Alright, you see what looks like a coat and storeroom. You see Z inside. She is kind of holding her hand, swearing as she's trying to stop the bleeding. You can see a bit of her blood on the floor and also on the shelves where there is broken pottery and pots and vials and things of that nature. And then there's also, well, if you peer around the corner, you wouldn't be able to see the cloaks. You'd just be able to see it from this angle.
I start playing a song, The Fool of Grimoire.
Okay.
I also make expletives directly towards him.
The singing intensifies.
And
to
can I weave an
inappropriate
arcane art
names.
into that spell? Into
Absolutely.
that song?
Go ahead and choose an ally and an effect.
The ally would be Z. The effect would be heal 1d8 damage.
Okay, and then roll plus charisma. Okay, go ahead and roll 1d8, and Z, you will heal that much damage. So, Estrelli, what is it?
I look at you disappointedly and go, gee, thanks a lot.
Estrelli, what does it look like when you heal someone else with your arcane art?
I'm just imagining he's just strumming along on his violin and just just like wafts of a green aura just head off the strings of the bow and just like coalesce towards the wound.
Okay.
Not too many came out this time.
But you do feel a little better, Z. Your wounds knit slightly. The bleeding stops. Your hand is still a bit jagged, but you're convinced you'll be able to fight and use your bow and short sword if you need to.
Also, you could give her a cloth, Estrelli, in order to wrap it. Now, the bandages actually have real healing properties, right?
Yes.
They're not just like strips of cloth.
That
it
is
wouldn't
correct.
It would actually be a healing action. How much
Yes.
do they do? 1d8?
No, it's 4 damage.
Well, she's exactly hurt for 4. Now the question is, Estrelli, which one of the strips do you want to offer her?
I offer her one at random.
So there's a 33% chance that it's the one that previously...
Are you offering it at random, or are you offering her pick?
Oh no, I'm offering it at random.
Okay.
And I'll go ahead and roll a 1d3.
Yeah, roll 1d3.
It's a 1. I don't know what that means.
You offer her one of your clean, unsullied bandages.
Damn it!
So if you would like to bind your wound with that bandage and heal 4 HP, then Estrella, you will mark off one use of your normal bandages.
I'll take it.
All right, then Estrella, mark off one use of your bandages.
Done.
So Olivia, Estrella, Zed, and Z are all standing in the storeroom to the south. The one that has been revealed here. You heard, Z went in there while Zed and Estrella were talking about how to deal with the golems in the upper room. And then you heard her swear, start cursing really, really loudly. And it looked like she had cut herself on one of the broken vials on the shelf while she was searching through them. And then she recognized that it was some sort of poison or unknown liquid in there. And she cut open the wound to try to make it bleed more freely so that she would not get it in her bloodstream. So she took some damage. Yeah, you are very subtle. She took some damage. She has since been sang to and then had her wound wrapped. So she seems like she's in much better health. Oh, I've muted you. I'm sorry. Okay, so what do you all want to do? You're standing in a storeroom. There's one other unexplored archway. There's a staircase up. There's a room with 2 gargoyle-looking stone golems in them.
I refuse to learn from the mistakes made of my other members of my party, and I will choose to discern reality.
Okay.
It's wisdom, right?
Yes. Okay, so you also inspect the room. You may, if you scroll up a little bit, I have the questions listed there. You may ask one of those questions.
What here is useful or valuable to me?
Okay, so as you are looking through this room, you look to the cloaks and you see one is, it looks different from the others. The fabric of it looks particularly fine, and it is embroidered with a gold colored thread around the edges, and it looks like it's a very fine cloak, and you think it would fetch a very good price if you were to take that and bring that back to town.
I stuff it in my pack.
Okay.
At
But
this
you may
time-
add one fine cloak to your inventory.
Does it have a weight?
I will give
Sorry.
it'll have a weight of... No, I'm not going to give it a weight. It is very lightweight. Sorry,
At
Zed,
this
you were
time-
saying?
Yes, Zed would like to cast Detect Magic.
Where are you casting it? In the room?
I'm pretty sure it casts like on. Well,
I mean, like,
yeah,
are you
I
in
am-
the room as you cast it?
Right, I'm just standing in the middle of this room right here.
Okay. All right, go ahead and roll plus intelligence.
This. Where are
And
we?
remember,
Here we
you are casting at a -1.
go. All right, so that is
Okay. All right, so go ahead and choose your negative effect that comes from not rolling a 10. So I believe it's you either forget the spell, you take -1 ongoing, or you draw unwanted attention to yourself or put yourself in a spot. Which would you prefer?
These are all terrible, terrible choices.
Yes.
Roll higher next time, noob.
Um, it, could I describe the spell a little bit better and then forget it? As in, like, instead of just detect magic, like for things that are in this room, I kind of wanted it to be like a pulse. That went
Oh,
out.
that's actually how I was going to do it.
All right, and then like I could kind of like see a faint glow like through walls and whatnot. of
Like
various
it
magical-
doesn't go as like it doesn't go particularly far. Like you can see kind of your immediate surroundings, and it does go through the walls, and it's just this moment of clarity where your eyes go wide and they glow brightly, and your hair stirs, and you look around, and for a moment you can see a highlight around. Like, what color is the highlight? What color do you see magic in?
Thanks.
like a purplish blue.
Okay, so you see this sort of indigo highlight through the wall to the north, and it is in the perfect form of these gargoyle golems. You see other small, like maybe the size of a scroll. It looks like it might be in one of the desks in there. You see something that's kind of short and blunt. You see something that is like circular, but it has something long attached to it. And
that
then
was all
you,
to the north.
yeah, and then you look around, you see like traces of it on the shelf next to you, but you can tell it's from like the broken potions. You see one potion that is still intact. And then you also notice that there is a glow coming from Estrelli's pack. And then you blink once and it's cleared from your vision and you forget the spell.
Okay. Let me mark that as forgotten on my character sheet, and then I will just step over to the table, and over here,
Mm-hmm.
and just go ahead and pick up the one potion that I know was magical, and
Okay.
stow it in my pack.
Go ahead and add that to your gear. 1 unidentified potion, 0 weight, no tags at the moment.
Quick question: was my violin in the pack at the time?
It's up to you.
Okay, I'm gonna say no, it wasn't because I was just playing a song with it.
And that was 0 weight, right?
Yes, 0 weight.
All right, very good.
Now, dearest friend Zed, who I've adventured with for years, are you going to inform your compatriot that his pack was glowing with a magical aura?
Well, I know that I just saw Dox pick up the cloak and put it into his bag, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I just sort of nonchalantly, like on my way out of the room, I tell him, you best be careful when picking up magical items out of a room that you don't know anything about.
My eyes widen
snap,
slightly.
You done got told. Okay, so the light travels back into the hallway. Does everyone who is in the room follow the light?
I'm
Uh,
done with this room.
Okay,
First question: do I need to roll wisdom for whether or not I should put on the cloak?
that's up to you.
I mean, at least now he knows that it's magical.
That's true.
Like, I wasn't actually planning on discerning reality or anything. Like, this was wisdom whether or not my character is wise enough not to throw on an obviously magical cloak.
I mean, that is your call to make if your character is wise enough.
Let's see. No! He puts on the cloak.
Okay, you put on the
But
cloak.
probably with like a big, wide-eyed, grin, like it's magic. He just pulls it out, throws it on.
Okay, you put on the cloak. I need to mark somewhere that you're wearing the cloak.
Oh, God.
I'm just gonna.
Well, hopefully I get superpowers.
I'm just gonna put it under your moves for now, and wearing the magic
Unidentified
cloak.
magical cloak.
Boop. And so you put on the cloak. You don't feel any different, but you look awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, my character, like, usually wears, like, poor rags. He's
I know,
very-
but the thing is, you feel like you look awesome wearing that cloak.
I look over at Dox when I watch him throw this cloak on it, and I go, "Can you at least take it back off again?"
Good question. I attempt to take off the cloak.
You take off the cloak.
Okay. It's not cursed in that way, it seems. I put the cloak back on.
All right. Well, as long as you can
So
remove it in case you find out it's done something terrible.
you Zed, you know that there are magical items hidden in the room to the north, but they are also guarded by stone golems. There's also the second room to the south, which you have not yet explored, and then there's the staircase down the hall that leads further up into the tower. Where would you all like to go?
Well, I know that Zed right now is kind of like erratically pacing back and forth because he wants to go get the items, but he also doesn't think he could take on the golems. So he's undecided, and so he's just kind of harumphing around and pacing, and he's not sure what to do or where to go.
Yes, it's working. Like, my character came here, like, with the promise to Olivia and Zed that he would help them get their treasure. Well, technically they think he's in it for the treasure too, but, if Zed really wanted to get that treasure, Australia would probably help him. Though, like, stone golems, like, we've got 2 people with rapiers,
Well, technically,
arrows.
technically
Tiger.
Z has a short bow and a short sword, and then you have a rapier.
sorry.
You have a magician with a staff and magic missiles, and then you have Olivia with bows and a snow leopard.
Yeah, but Zed's currently in a funk right now, making up for all the good rolls he had last game. So I don't know how much we can trust Magic Missile right now.
And like, it seems like arrows would not be particularly effective against a creature made of stone. Like,
Yeah, any type of blunt hammer or mace would be fantastic, but we don't happen to have those handy. So unless somebody wanted to like pick up a rock,
blunt-looking object inside of one of the drawers.
Well, I looked around for a hammer, but I wasn't able to find one.
Maybe we'll see if we can find anything like that in later parts, and we can always come back.
what about just like pipe or an iron bar of some kind?
Do you have that in your inventory?
A table leg.
A table leg made of wood. I don't know if a wood club is really going to do that much against stone.
No, not made of wood. I was thinking like metal. I mean, you have an alchemy stand. It may not be just a wooden table.
Yeah, but, well, we'd have to like wrench it from the table. That could be difficult. For like, there's
keep
no.
an eye out for something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we could try to come back here later.
Yeah.
But
Nothing here seems to be going anywhere if we don't touch it. So
We also heard from the. Well, at least Estrelli. Well, everyone heard it. It's not like it was a secret. He said that basically knowledge would be in the top and bottom floors. It stands to reason that any important treasure may also be there as well.
right, but I know for a fact that there are really awesome magical things in that room, and I want them now. But all right, I
All right,
suppose
then.
we will leave that room for now, but we will come back to it before we leave the tower. Maybe on our way back down from the top. It looks like there's only one way up. There's probably only one way down. We'll come right by this room again.
Right. Let's check this room out.
Right.
Let's see what we got going on in this final room of the floor.
Okay.
It's the room of magical hammers.
Well, you stick your staff inside, Zed, and it looks like it is also some kind of storeroom. You see broken barrels and scraps of wood on the floor. To one side, you can see a couple of intact barrels that look like they are seeping some kind of liquid onto the floor. And then in the far corner, you see a large crate.
Well, as promising as this looks, Zed is not going to be the first one, because he just fell down a pit earlier in this adventure. He's not going to make the same mistake again.
I mean, I guess I'll try to carefully search the room.
I'll taste the liquid coming from the barrel to see if it's edible. No, I don't. Never mind. Joking.
Okay, that's fine. This isn't paranoia. I'll let you take that back.
I mean, you could, like, just, dip a finger in and give it a sniff. See if it's like an oil or possibly a wine.
Can I grab a piece of wood nearby and dip that in?
Are you dipping? You can dip it into the liquid that is seeping onto the floor, but
Yeah.
the barrels are mostly sealed. It's just over time that it's seeped out.
Yeah, and I just take a sniff of that liquid to see if it smells like wine or poo.
It smells like musty water, like very, very stale water, like water that's been sitting in a barrel for over 100 years.
What castle have you ever gone into where they keep barrels of poo?
I didn't know what liquid it was, okay? I was just naming two liquids, one good, one bad.
Olivia, did you want to discern realities in this room?
I did want to do that, and I wanted to have Red help,
Okay.
because he's trained in.
Well, Zed can identify magic, so and he didn't see anything from the other side of the wall, so he's going to discern
Two.
reality as well.
Okay, so that is a success. So if you scroll up, there's a list of questions. You may ask one question.
What here is useful or valuable to me?
So you're searching through the room, and are you going to prise open the crate as well?
Yeah, I mean, if we're searching the room, might as
Okay.
well search the whole room.
So you search through the room and you prise open the crate, and in the crate you can see, it looks like it's stacks of wizard robes. They are a dark brown color with a red embroidery on it. They don't look particularly valuable, but you think that the cloth is fairly good. You might be able to make use of it later if you have need of cloth that is dry, or to help you make camp if you need something, or if you need something to burn to smoke or something
That
like
would make
that.
sense.
So
Right,
there are wizard robes in that.
Yes.
I'm gonna
Current-
go ahead.
We might want to grab 4 of them, put them
For
on.
disguising. I was just about to say that.
Like, these are the wizard robes of the wizards of old.
Uh-huh. Like, good disguising, it seems like. I want to put one of the wizard robes on over the top of my leather armor.
Okay.
It'll probably look like not quite fit correctly, but whatever.
All right, Olivia, you put on a dark brown wizard robe with red embroidery. As you put it down and look down, you can see that in the red embroidery there is a face of a skull on your chest.
Okay.
And I look to him with eyes
Her.
quizzically, and I go, oh, actually, wait a minute. No, it didn't show up as being magic to me before. Never mind. I take it back.
No, they are
It's not
not
magic.
magical. You did not
Okay.
see any magic.
It's just simple cloth. All right.
I put my my unknown magical cloak back into my backpack, and I take one of the wizard robes.
Can you please defy danger with your wisdom, please?
One sec, finding my character sheet again.
See, Catilyn, you don't have
Okay.
to make Doc's the butt of all of your jokes. Life does it for you.
But isn't that charisma?
No, I want him to defy
What?
danger with his wisdom.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was scrolled up.
Wait till I pass the rolls and say, "Oh, that's the wrong roll."
No,
Thanks,
that
Hazel.
was my bad. I was not scrolled to the bottom of the page.
Okay, so it happens as you say. You take the cloak off, you stow it away in your bag, and you put on the wizard robe.
Do I notice any effects?
No.
Excellent.
Actually, no, I'll say with a 10, you notice that you feel a little upset that you're not wearing your cloak. Like, you feel like you really want to wear it. But
Oh,
you
dear.
can kind of tell that, like, you're not sure where that's coming from, because, like, deep down you don't really like it that much. You just kind of want to sell it. But there's something, like, you feel so good when it's on. And so you feel like you're missing something by taking it off.
I head
Wow.
back into the original room, and I put the cloak back on the place where I found it.
Can you please defy danger with your wisdom as you try to hang the cloak back up and leave it?
I'm addicted to fancy cloaks.
Let me look. Okay.
Let me see. Now Zed is thinking we can find a noble, sell him the cloak, steal it back a couple of weeks later, and sell it back to him and get it even more. Constantly selling him back.
Let me
the
just
same
say,
robe.
I blame Buhamut for giving her this idea. It exploded?
No, that wasn't
That was
me.
me. I'm sorry.
How did you do that? That was an awesome fire effect.
There's no. I'm sorry. Don't let me distract from what was happening.
So, as you go to hang up the cloak, there's just something inside of you. You can't quite do it. Like, you know that if you hang this cloak up, you're going to be thinking about it for the whole rest of the dungeon. So you can either take -1 ongoing to all of your wisdom checks as you are what is it
Confused.
called? Yeah, as you are confused. Or,
Done.
okay. I was gonna say, or you can keep the cloak. So you hang up the cloak and you leave it behind, and you find your thoughts turning to this cloak as you walk back into the hallway, and you glance over your shoulder at the archway, and you know the cloak's in there, but you force yourself to step forward away from it.
I walk over to Zed and I ask him to do me a small favor. I ask him if he'd be willing to use magic missiles on that cloak.
Zed turns to him, says, "Don't worry, I'll take care of it. But
Thank you.
Don't look in the room. Hold my staff." So I hand my staff to Doc.
I sit there like a child who knows that his father is about to shoot his sick dog.
All right. I walk into the room.
Okay. You walk into the room.
I take the cloak off of the hanger and put it into my bag.
Okay.
And then I just cast a minor little illusion of like not necessarily light or anything. It's just make it look like fire was cast into the room. Just like a flash of like orange.
Do you want to use your prestidigitation for that?
Yeah, I suppose that would work.
Okay, go ahead and roll plus intelligence.
All right. Come on.
Okay, that is a pass. Choose one of the 3 negative effects, but it happens otherwise as you say.
All right. I suppose I forget prestidigitation.
This dungeon's
I'm
just
running out of
wearing you
spells.
out, man.
I'm losing all my spells here. This is terrible.
A lot
So-
of that will go away if we rest. Like,
That's true.
Yeah, I just need an hour.
Estrelli, and this is probably going to be a good place for us to go to our second break, but you watch as Zed goes into the room. There's some movement in the dark, and then suddenly there is a burst of flame and light, and then it goes dark, and something inside your heart breaks.